Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is the crossover show, I will call it. And I think we can coin that term basically. I'm here obviously with my co-host Tara Lee. Welcome to the show, Tara. Do you want to do your little intro? I love yours better than mine.
You do? I feel like this is
Yeah.
your territory, but a very good evening to everyone joining us and watching. Welcome to the crossover with Khalid over there and me, Tara Lee. We are your hosts for this evening. We will have our individuals joining us, the Offside Maidens, of course. I know that you've come accustomed to them and their opinions and personalities, and they will be joining us and giving us all of their opinions. And of course, everyone's opinion here are their own and not that of Cricket Fanatics. So don't be hating on Cricket Fanatics. Also, like, follow, subscribe, click the notification bell, join the chat, do all the things, type in your comments, argue with each other. We like that.
And welcome to the guys
But
on Facebook, because this is the first time you're going to be seeing this type of show as well. So on Friday, we're going to be doing crossover shows, or we're going to be doing Q&As. We will obviously try to mix it up according to the availability of the ladies over here, and as well as what my availability is as well. But Facebook guys, go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe for all exclusive content, etc. But Tara, let's talk about cricket this week. It's been quite hectic. How are you first and foremost? Are you good?
I am good. I feel like it's been a hectic week where I've been doing so many things, and there's been so much cricket, but also other sport that I've had to cover. Tennis, especially because Lloyd Harris just made it into the final. So South African sport has been doing well this week, and it's made me very, very excited. It's also been exciting seeing some of the performances in the 4-day. It's lovely to see players perform and do so consistently. And our women talk about consistency, talk about correcting whatever problems you thought they had. You were wrong. The women have been spectacular, exciting. People want to watch, people want to know about it. And if you missed it, you missed something monumental. And we are number 2 in the world. Our ODI squad, number 2 in the world. And that is just spectacular. We have the number 1 ODI batter. I'm trying to be gender neutral. The number 1 batter in the world in our squad. And that is special. So very excited about what has been going on this week. And you, Khalid, are you just as excited? I hope so.
Yeah, of course I am. And what's amazing about it is that not only did the women show what they're capable of, but they also schooled, I would say, the men with regards to how they played spin. Now, when you look at some of the comments that were made by Sune Lewis, and obviously in her particular press conference, which she spoke about, for me, it was the mental change that she spoke about. What she learned from before and what they brought into the series after they got smashed before twice in a row. Obviously, the last time they won in India was in 2014, I think it was. So this time around, they came and they learned from their mistakes, and they spoke about that. That's without having Dane Finikiak in the side, Chloe Tryon on in the side, who are generally very comfortable against the spinners. There were some people that maybe for the first time actually playing against spin in the subcontinent, and they really performed really well. So I think that obviously seeing the opening stand like that with Lizelle Lee and obviously with Laura Wolfart was excellent. That at least we know that we've cemented those two positions in the side. So that's great to see. But I think overall it was a dominant performance, not just resting and not when they were ahead. I was like very scared when they went 1-1 in the series, because I was like, is South Africa going to crumble from here on? But they didn't. They turned it on 2-1, then 3-1, and then they didn't sit and become complacent. They went 4-1, completely dominating India on their turf. So I thought that was excellent from their part. Other than that, I think what I really have to say is, first and foremost, is there was a lot of cricket happening. So we worked exceptionally hard. All the people at Cricket Fanatics Magazine worked exceptionally hard this last week, I feel. I have to say a quick shout out to Emily, because, I mean, Emily went for a first time ever to her own event. I didn't go with her. I kind of, I wouldn't say throw her in the deep end, but I told her that she can go ahead and try being by herself and trying to cover an event. And she did that. She went to the Vineyard. She covered the women's provincial league, basically it is, and she saw some of the matches and she covered some of those. She even did some amazing opinion pieces as well as some features with some quotes from top players, some top coaches as well. Sorry, not players, but coaches. And that was excellent. And juggling, coming to the 4-day game and then moving over to go to the women's game as well. She did both. So I was very impressed with her work this week, and I think she deserves that credit for the way she performed this week. So well done to her. And I think that's the perfect time for us to be able to bring on our guests and maybe start talking about some of the other stuff. Are you ready, Tara?
Yes,
Cool.
let's bring them on.
So without further ado, here's Emily, and then we've got Mpo, and then we've got the twins, and then we've got Leisha,
Who's this? Oh, the
our resident
juicer.
juicer.
We love it.
So, guys, welcome to the show. Another crossover show. Really excited about this one. Lot to talk about. Hell of a lot to talk about. So I'm going to start it all off. I really want you guys to be able to see, obviously, everybody to see your tags. Pity the twins didn't make their fancy tag today so that people can go see. Wink, wink. But okay, it's fine. Let's take that off. Welcome to the show, everyone. Let's start with the women's side. That's 4-1 victory. Let's go around the table. Let's maybe start with Emily, and then Tara, you can take the next question. But Emily, we didn't get to hear from you because obviously the Offside Maidens didn't get to get together this week, and it was a pity. A lot of people missed it. I know the guys out there, you guys missed it, and I know I did producing the show. I really missed producing it, but you didn't get your chance to actually speak about the women's it's a massive defeat against India. Can you just maybe give us some insight on what you thought about it?
Yeah, phenomenal performance. To be honest, at the beginning of the series, I said before that it would be a tight series. Definitely, it wasn't tight at all. Well, at least by the scores, sort of 4-1. I think maybe within the games they were tight, but our performances were just brilliant. I think, like you said, Khalid, like the top order, those two opening batsmen completely cemented their spots there. I think Lazal Lee and Laura sort of complement each other so well. Laura's more of the, through the covers type of person, whereas Ali sort of more over the top. So I think, they really do complement each other well. So that opening partnership was really, really good for us. And then, just consistent performances, in the bowling and in the field as well. I was surprised with 4-1, pleasantly surprised, of course. I expected maybe, a lot closer than that, maybe a 3-2 or something. But I'm very glad. I'm very happy, and they really did show how good we are as a side, and how good we've gotten, how much we've improved. So very happy with that.
There was definite improvement, because I mean, even when the top batters were not scoring the runs, that was okay, because the middle order was doing the things. That was impressive. Leisha, what are your thoughts on that? Or wasn't it exciting for you to see? Because I know that in the last show of Offside Maidens, you were concerned about, what happens when the top order doesn't perform. And then also there's always concern about facing spin. But look, like Khalid said, there was a mind shift, and Sunay did talk about that mind shift. And apparently playing in Durban was what needed to happen. We need to tell the guys this. Why are they not playing more in Durban? Like, Leisha?
Like Emily said, I was also pleasantly surprised. I was completely like blown away by our performance. But like all it said, it's a nice saying. It's a mental game. It really is. Like, especially with playing spin, you have to be mentally strong and to be able to play against spin. With how bad is Lazelle really proved me wrong. I must say, because I was really concerned about her also. But wow, girl, you did two things for me. I must say that I was really happy with our performance. I also thought it would be 3-2, but 4-1. But I still love some Riti though, but 4-1.
And then poor for you, because we didn't get a chance to obviously talk about this either and really get into it. I really want to hear what you have to say, because I know that you're also a massive supporter of women's cricket.
Yeah. So look, I didn't think we'd win the ODI series. I thought India would come a little bit better prepared, but they haven't played cricket in over a year. So it kind of feels good, but it also kind of feels, because the India that when we went to India in 2019, it was a total education. The girls didn't know what was going on, but you could see that there's that improvement, there's that step up. I think the biggest issue was the middle order going into the tournament, into this ODI. And I was happy that Lara Goodall got pushed up to 3, because it felt after the second game they won. So they lost the second one, and the third game they won. You kind of felt that Sune needed to bat either higher up or lower down and allow Lara to bat at 3. I was happy that Hilton gave Lara that position, and I think all batting departments were tested throughout the series. So the top order, middle order, and lower middle, and they all came through. You could see that that the South Africans had played a lot of cricket, and you could see that that the South Africans now have a much better quality players than the Indians. If you look at the guys who've played in the BBL, guys have played. Some people have played in the UK. So you could see Lazali, you could see Laura, you could see Marizan Cup, you could see Shabnim. There's now that step up. We've made that step up. So now the question is, can they now compete with Australia and England? And that's the big question now, is can Hilton take these ladies to the next level?
I'm really excited to see that happen, though. I would really love to see them up against Australia.
Well, we were supposed to have an Australia series last year before
we went into always supposed to have an Australia series.
No, they were supposed to come here. They were supposed to play in Durban and in Maritzburg, and Corona hit us. We would have had Elise Perry. We would have had. Oh my!
It's always Corona with Australia. Look, I have a team with Australia. Sorry.
No, we all do. Don't worry, Tara. We all do.
Twins, I really want to hear from you, from your perspective. I mean, a lot happened this week. I hope that you got to see some of that. Did you get to see some of the women's matches?
Quite a bit. Yes, we have managed to flick on the TV, between studies and everything. But I also just want to say, what Mpo mentioned earlier about Lara Goodall going from 4th to 3rd. I think I remember in the Pakistan tour when we played Pakistan, the Pakistan women. So there was 3 ODIs. So each time Lara came in at 4, she, I think, twice scored less than 30, and then the third time was like, I think she went for a duck, I'm not sure. And then now in this ODI with India, the first 2 matches, the first one I think she also went for a golden egg, and then the second time she just almost made 50. But then when they, put her in 3rd, sort of like 3rd position, or I mean 3rd on 3, then that 15 was it 59 or something in the 4th ODI or something she made. So it's almost, and then I think also when we were listening to the press conference thingy afterwards, so she specifically said that she's quite comfortable between 3 and 4, and I think 3 maybe is a good place for her. I mean, I know Sune Loose was the original 3, but I mean, maybe like seeing Lara in 3rd and just doing amazing things. It was really good to see her put some good numbers on the board and do good things with the bat and sweeping left, right, and center and just claiming that whole pitch.
Yeah. It particularly really probably when Dane. Yeah, and also probably when Dane comes back, she'll probably take that number 3 spot as well, or maybe that number 4 spot. So we'll have to wait and see, because I mean, it's nice to see that there is competition, that they are pushing each other, and that they all want each other to perform. And that's very good to see, that even though there's competition. And I think Hilton must get a lot of credit, because when people talk about the coaches for South Africa, for the main side, there's a lot of excuses being made for the way CSA runs things and the way things are being run via that and the board and all of those type of things. And that is affecting the way the men perform, etc. And when I look at the Hilton Moring and the way he's performed, he's just went about his business and continuously improved, despite everything. Despite having players as well that are not getting paid at domestic level, they're not earning a salary, and still pushing them to be able to have the motivation to come and become Proteas. That development that's been happening from the lower end up is very important, and that's why I want to bring Emily in here to speak about that, because she got to see some of that, got to speak some with coaches, like with regards to Claire, Denisha Devereaux, the things that they are doing with the players at a lower level, that motivating these girls to be able to play at the highest level. The quality of cricket that you saw at this particular at the Vineyard for the Women's League. Just speak a little bit about that with me, Emily. I want to know some of the performances that you saw and what the experience was like for your first actual experience alone at an event like that.
Yeah, the experience was interesting. Going to my first event sort of alone. It was cool to see the talent that's out there. I do think, I'm not sure if the pitch was slow, but I think I'm a bit worried about strike rates. They were batting quite slowly in both games. So that's a bit worrying, but there's definitely potential in both sides that I saw, all three sides that I saw play. And I think, Denisha and Claire and all the other coaches really do, sorry. So they really do play a big role in sort of the development of the players. I mean, Laura mentioned it as well. She said in I think the presser how grateful she is for Claire and the impact that Claire has on her game. And then Laura mentioning Denisha as well, and mentioning how she's helped her as a player. And yeah, I really think even Denisha was at the tournament. She lives in Durban, and she should have made effort to come. Obviously, she's the high performance coach and under 19 coach as well. So she came there to see the players, to see the talent. And even when she was there, she was just saying how she really is. She just wants to see women's cricket grow, and that's her biggest passion. So yeah, I think definitely coaches like Tanisha and Claire have massive impact on players and their game. So yeah, it was definitely good to see. Got to see Robin Saul play against her sister, play against each other. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so definitely talent coming up, and I'm keen to see more what happens. What else happens in this tournament? Yeah, Osara Smith as well. She played really well. And yeah, hoping she'll score 50 in tomorrow's game.
Am I the only one that's not muted? Okay, I suppose I'm supposed to be talking. Well, Emily, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you got to spend some time there and really watch that, because you also covered the Women's Super League, and it's so great to see these performances being translated and filtering through all the way to the Proteas squad, because like a woman like Annika Bosch, she did really well in the Women's Super League, and then we got to see that happen for the Proteas. And that is so fantastic. And we have to, like you said, give credit to all of these coaches and also to Hilton. I think Hilton should maybe also be a consultant for the male Proteas, so they can really help with their mindset when they have to play spin at the same time. But so also the 4-day, you also got to see the 4-day, and you finally got to see the Cobras win something.
Before I get there, because you had to go there. But Hilton, I think just something about Hilton as well. Lara mentioned it. How much he's sort of backed her when she wasn't getting performances, wasn't getting runs. But he just kept believing in her, and he just kept pushing her, and I think that's very vital. When you don't feel like you are helping the team performance, or you're contributing in runs and all that stuff. So I think, I don't know, someone said it earlier, but definitely pushing her to 3. I think that's her spot. I said it previously. I didn't like her at 4. I didn't like Sunay at 3. I don't know what's going to happen. With Shanae in the side when she is in the side, but I like I like Lara at 3. I think that's her spot. Moving on to your second question or your second segment, that is very uncalled for. Yeah,
the Cobras getting their groove back, because in the last game they were getting in there and they were performing well, but then rain came in and kind of spoiled the situation for them. But now
Warriors,
this time they actually got a victory.
Yeah, the Warriors' butts were safe by rain there. They were 100% going to lose that game if it wasn't for rain. But yeah, and then this game, clinical performances. Shout out to Peter Milan, 264. Carl Varane getting another 100. Sort of another reason as to why he should be in that test side, and why he should be picked, why he should play in the side. And then who else performed well? Oh, George Linder took 7. I think that's his best figures in franchise cricket. So that's phenomenal. It was just all around good performance. Won by an innings and 200 and something runs, which is a massive win. And a good way to end the franchise. That breaks my heart to say that I'll never see the Cobras play again. But obviously the new the way that things are moving and that new setup. But yeah, it was good to get a win.
Yeah, so I'm just going to introduce another guest to the show. I finally got hold of him. Welcome to the show, Aditya. Now we are a lot more balanced, I feel. Although the twins are making us outnumbered here, but okay, they're one person, so we will discount it as that.
They're one person.
So let's do this. Aditya, great to see you again. I think we should start talking about yes, there were a lot of 4-day competitions. I mean, I got the chance to talk to Patrick Maroney as well, the selector, national selector, and East End United selector. He was sitting in the 4-day media center with us, and it was nice to bounce off him and hear some ideas that he had and listen to the way he thinks about certain things. I mean, we have an exclusive interview on this channel with him. He gives some insights into transformation, etc., and all of those type of things, and how they went about selecting teams. Now, I thought they were going to wait one more day, maybe like today, to release the squads, because I mean, like some of the commentators said, while the players were on the field, they announced the squads, and do they know that they were selected? For example, Lazard Williams. I was so chuffed that this man got an opportunity to now play for the gets an opportunity now to play for the Proteas. His attitude, the way he carries himself on the field, his consistency that he's been bringing through, the hard work he's always put in. All he needed is an opportunity. I remember having interviews with him, and he just showed that attitude, and he showed that fire in him, and he always wanted to just be the best. That is his drive. And Paul, I want to bring you in here, and then Aditya, you can answer straight after that as well. When we're talking about the squads, because I'm going to move over now to some of the squads. I'm going to put them on the screen over here. I don't think we really need to talk about the national contracts, if I'm thinking about it right now, because the more topical point, because I did a whole show on the national contracts, so I think the more topical point over here is more the ODI and the T20 squad. Let's start with the ODIs, because according to the fixtures, of course, as I'm bringing on the screen, these are the fixtures for against Pakistan, so the ODIs will come up first. So let's just talk about this particular ODI squad. And Paul, let's start with you. Are there any guys here that you maybe...
Before it's... Yes?
Yes, are there... Yeah, before you go, just give me...
I just wanted to congratulate the Cobras fans for winning the first game in 15 matches. First-class matches, congratulations.
I was trying to avoid it. I was trying to avoid it.
I was trying to avoid it.
Why do you have to go there? Why do you have to go there? Come on.
Yeah, it was a stat bouncing around it was a stat that was bouncing around our media center at the Wanderers, and I was like 16 months, 15. But anyway, it's fine.
At least our boys can convert. At least our boys can convert.
We'll count the amount of trophies we have.
Well, it doesn't really matter anymore, does it?
The twins now support Dolphins.
Cool. So let's talk
about
just a lady from Tabeja over there that's that's not a Cobras fan.
Let's bring out that squad quickly. Paul, I want to know from you, any names that you were shocked about or would you rather have wanted to see in the ODI squad?
Look, they picked 22 guys. So pretty much everybody, by the time I think we read the 22nd name, I was tapped out for people. Grant Ruloson, I think, is unlucky. Ryan Rickleton's also quite unlucky. But if you look at that axis at the top between Quinton Temba, Yanaman, and Aiden Markram, you've got quite a lot of top order firepower. Yeah, but look, a lot of the guys, so half the squad's going to the IPL probably after the second ODI. That's why there's 22 people. So I don't know how they're going to give everyone game time, but there'll be some guys who won't get a cap. My bet is on Sisanda. I don't think he's he's got a massive fitness test probably by the time before the game. But I think Sisanda Junior Dala might not play. I was surprised that they picked Junior Dala for this one, but I think they're trying to give him one last opportunity to see to see where they go. But these ODIs are very important, and that's why because these are qualifiers for the 2023 World Cup in India. And if you don't want to start badly, we don't have any points right now. Currently, I think Afghanistan's second in the world, and India are first. Oh no, not India. England are first. So we need to get some points on the board. So very strong ODI squad. I just don't know how they're going to mix and mash it with the guys going to India midway through that series. But I don't think there's anybody. I think Grant Rulofsson and Ryan Rickleton will feel hard done by because they were in the runs in the MODC, and it looks like they looked at the bowlers in the MODC, but they never looked at the batsmen. Yes, it rained out, I think, in Potch for the first half of that MODC, but the Dolphins, there were two people who scored centuries in that tournament. One of them was Ryan Rickleton, the other one was Grant Rulofsson, but they never got an opportunity. But I'm happy with the squad. I just hope that it's the start to build to the 2023 World Cup with this Super League that we're about to embark on.
Twins, are you there? Okay, you are there. Twins, how do you feel about who has been selected there for the squad? I know you have very strong opinions from a fan perspective.
What? I think
And
he
they
was glad
included
they
they included your favorite.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm obviously happy for everybody for those who got chosen or call-ups. I mean, obviously Magala and then obviously Lizard Williams. So I think it's good for them and to just be part of the actual national squad, the Proteas squad. So I think, yeah, looking forward to see what they can bring to the side, and hopefully I'm sure they will be able to take us forward.
And I really also want to know from Leisha, is there anybody that you feel disappointed about that wasn't included?
Like Mpo said, Ryan Rickleton and Grant Rolofton, I actually wanted to see them included because they were amongst the runs in the Momentum Cup. One player that I'm actually surprised that is in the ODI squad is John because I feel like he's more of a T20 player. But we'll see if he gets game time and how he does. I hope he does well, but being a warrior, you know. But yeah, I'm happy with the squad. We've got a strong squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No.
aren't you happy, Khalid, that David Miller was included?
Yeah, no. I'm happy that obviously I would always pick David Miller in the squad. That's no doubt about that. And I think they are searching for that number 6 positions and those type of players. Obviously, they are still looking for that finisher. According to what the convener told me, that's one of the spots that they are looking for. So this particular tour, they're obviously going to be looking for that. Now I want to move over into the T20 squad as well, because Aditya, obviously we're going to be playing in India. You look at this particular squad. Do you feel they made the right decisions with this? And then Emily, you can just go straight after Aditya is done. I'm gonna put the squad on the screen for you so you can see. Obviously, Vian Libber coming in here and Lizard Williams as well. You just muted, Aditya.
Yeah, look, this is a young team, and we need to see how they go based on what we've seen from the Pakistan series. There were a number of encouraging signs, and it will be equally interesting to see how it all works out in this series. I suppose the slightest concern I have is uh, for the players who will then uh, go on to play the IPL, because I think it causes a bit of a disruption, and I don't want to see the Proteas lose to Pakistan at home. So that's something that I'd be slightly concerned about. But that's I think generally it's a good team, and hopefully they can figure out their roles and get a fair bit of confidence going forward.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is that ODIs are going first. So the guys that are in the IPL are going to be playing in the ODI squad, in the ODIs, and then they're going to obviously go to the IPL. And then that's why they picked the squad for the T20 that they've picked. So,
but I think the challenge is that a number of players who will be sort of definites for the World Cup will not be playing in this team.
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, it's building that momentum. So my whole thing was all about like finding that extra spaces in that squad, trying to find those missing pieces to the puzzle. Emily, do you think with the selections of Lizard Williams, Vian Libbe, Michal Pretorius, those guys that really stood out in the T20 challenge, for example, do you think that those are maybe some guys that could fit that puzzle?
Yeah, look, I definitely think those guys have sort of earned their spots there. Lizard Williams, especially in the 4-day series now recently, he's been showing, how good of a bowler he actually is. So definitely he deserved a spot. Vian Libbe as well. He showed that he can hold his own in that batting order. There was another one. Who else is a new one? Can you bring it up again, please? There was someone else that I wanted to mention. Who was it? Michal. Michal Pretorius, yeah. Whenever I mention the name or hear the name Michal Pretorius, like the Cobras game just enters my brain. It's not a good memory for me, but yeah, look, he showed there. He played fearless cricket in that situation, and I think he could fit in. He could be someone who can come in and score you runs in the last few overs, but also take wickets. He's that all-rounder, can fill that all-rounder spot. So, yeah, I definitely think those guys earned their spots there. I would love to see Lizard Williams play. I really hope he does play. I'd love to see him bowl for South Africa. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But to answer your question, I think they deserve to be in those squads.
And nobody surprised you, Emily. No inclusion surprised you.
Nothing surprised me. Well, no. I think seeing Sasana Magala back, I don't think it didn't surprise me. Like I'm glad that he's back. I think Mbo was saying it earlier. I just don't know how much of an opportunity he's going to get. I personally hope it. I hope he gets enough of opportunity, but we'll see in that. When they sort of take the field. But I don't think I was surprised. I was more relieved and sort of like finally that he's actually in the side. So yeah.
And then, Paul, you wanted to raise a point about the T20 challenge as well, and about the T20 team. Sorry, not about the T20 challenge.
Yeah. So when I looked at the squad yesterday, I kind of felt like we're not closer to finding your final 15 to go to the World Cup, because a lot of the guys in the squad are not going to go to the World Cup. And to a certain extent, you could say that the selectors are looking to next year or to seeing what is there. Because South Africa have got about 12 to 15 to 16 T20s up until they get to the World Cup. So you've got this one, these three these four against Pakistan. They're probably gonna go to the West to the Ireland for that three. They're gonna go to the West Indies for another three. They're probably going to go to play Sri Lanka for that three. So it's about 12, and then you've got another 3 with India. But that's probably with the World Cup 15. So you find yourself in a situation where, they've got enough T20 games, and guys are fighting for two to three spots. And those spots are the extra spinner. So I would have loved to see Keshav Maharaj get an opportunity to cement a spot, but I kind of feel the selectors are fighting between Keshav and George Linda in between the ODI and T20 squad. And then the other spot that's available is the all-rounder spot, because I think Andile Pekluwayo being dropped from this squad is a message to him to let him know that he probably needs to get back to form. And then the other spot is the other, I wouldn't say the other batsman, but a batting all-rounder. So you guys are kind of fighting for those spots, but the rest of the guys are there to give South Africa the best, to kind of show us what's going to happen post next year's World Cup, going forward in T20. But it's just sad, obviously, we don't get the IPL guys, but there's a lot of T20s around. It's just that I would have loved to get closer to the 15 than right now with this squad. I'm so further away. There's no definite answer to me that says that we're going in the right track. It's just saying that we're fielding a team for the sake of fielding a team to a certain extent. I'd have loved the IPL guys to have played the T20s, or the T20s to be first, so that we could get a semblance of the direction where this team is going. Because there's a lot of guys that need an opportunity to play, but also Temba needs to work out the combinations with the IPL stars as well. And you need to give Temba enough games to work the combinations with the 15 that's going to the World Cup. You can't just now give him this 15, and then by the time we play Sri Lanka, he's probably going to get a 15 that's including IPL guys, but he's been playing for 7 T20s with this team. So it's just the selectors probably know better than me, but it's something that I'd like to see going forward, especially with the Ireland and West Indies tours, if there is one, or if with the Sri Lanka tour. But there will be games, and I'd like to get closer to the 15.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to unmute myself, and then I had muted myself and then unmuted myself again. I agree with you fully, because it's going to be such a challenge for him to work with one squad and then have something completely different, or very different, a different dynamics, different teams working together. It's going to be tough, especially for what we are preparing for. And it just seems like the IPL is always coming in the way of our World Cup dreams. That has been the case. But you know what? Players have to make money, so it definitely is a necessity. It is, and we understand that. We definitely get that. Khalid, we are going to have to wrap up a bit soon.
I just want to round
throwing
off.
that in there.
Yeah, I just want to round off. Let's just round off with. I just want Aditya and Lisha and Twins just to say their final say before we say our parting words.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess it's an interesting time for the South African T20 team, and the IPL is an obvious interruption, because I think you have 5 players: Faf, Lungi, Quinton, KG, and Andrik, who are sort of first names on the sheet, and that, I think that is a bit disruptive, I suppose, for their plans going forward. But we also need more clarity on AB, and I don't know what's happening on that front, because Bouch just said that he's been having conversations with AB, and I think we need to know a bit more on that front as well. But having said that, I'm sure that they're watching the India versus England series to see how conditions play out, what the balance of teams should look like, with India now adopting a new model and playing 10 batsmen in a team, which is insane. I've never seen India do that before, and adopting this explosive approach to batting. But having said that, I'm sure South Africans will find their way. I don't think they need to go the England or the India way. They'll find a way that works for them. And as Bo said, they've got 16 T20s to work that out. So I'm sure it's going to be a competitive South African team that plays the World Cup, and long may their glory last.
Lisha, your final comments.
About what exactly is with so much cricket?
We
I
have been
don't know
talking
what
about a lot of things.
How did you feel about Lisha? How did you feel about that catch, man? How did you feel about that catch?
Lisha was quite angry.
Look, yeah.
Lisha, now you have to elaborate.
was-
You have to tell everybody what you're talking about.
The India and England, yeah, that game. I was royally pissed, guys. To be honest. I don't understand. Like, his fingers weren't even under the ball. Like, how is that out, guys? Do we need binoculars now to see catches or what? What is happening? You know, I quite enjoyed the rest of the game though, but like it was nerve wracking, but I enjoyed the nerves. And big ups to India, the way they back their youngsters and the way they utilize their players, and also the way the players use the opportunity given to them. It's amazing to see. And big ups to Shardul, my guy Tucker, for defending that score. The last, I think it was 20 runs or so in the last over. The way he defended it, I I I, I really admire him for keeping his cool at the end there.
Yeah, because Joffre was going for it.
Yo, this guy had no chill.
and
He
the
was
final
working on my last
match is
man.
happening tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow, but it's happening at the same time as the ladies T20, the first
and-
T20
Oh my goodness.
of
and
the
it's
series.
the decider, but like it's also the women's first game. So I'm gonna be watching on my laptop
Oh.
and on the TV at the same time.
Priorities.
Twins, what will you choose to be watching tomorrow? This is a trick question.
Firstly-
I hope you answer correctly.
Okay. Wait, I first just want to just comment on Leisha's comment about that catch. You know what? I think they'd probably need a fourth umpire for that stuff, because clearly you can't even trust the third umpire. So, any case, but so just regarding the India women's side, I think for the T20 match starting tomorrow, I think I'll probably be watching the women, because I'm looking forward. Well, obviously because Mandana is now going to captain the side, because she's taking over from
Harmanpreet,
Harmanpreet. So looking forward to that, I think. So I'm definitely we're probably going to definitely switch between games and just see what's going on. I think India always bring a good game, so very good competitive sides. So you will be missing out. You'll shoot yourself in the foot if you miss any games. You have to watch both. There's no in between.
What's nice is that there's
Yeah.
two of you. So one can watch the ladies' game, the other can watch the men's game.
There's
You
only
get
one
us. You
TV
get us.
actually.
Nice.
There's only one
Okay.
TV. You might fight over the remote and stuff. So, yeah, try not to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, I have to wrap it up. Guys, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Tara, my co-host. Thank you to Aditya for coming on so late. Mpo, Lisha, the twins. Thanks a lot for the show. I want to do this more often, so I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Don't forget to obviously do all the things that we want you to do. You know that Tara always says that at the beginning of the shows. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell for all future videos. Download the latest issue of the magazine. Link is on the screen and in the description. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. And obviously become a Patreon today. We need your support. So join the Patreon. The link is on the screen and in the description. And if you guys have a business and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business isn't offline, the links are in the description for that too. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Thank you to all my co-host, Tara. We'll see you guys again on Sunday evening with a podcast show. Take care, everyone.